Greetings, folks. Greetings. It's your boy, the one and only Batman, and you're tuned in to Batman Radio. All right. Like I said, there will be no comment section. That's permanently closed. Um, I'm pretty tired, man. I'm exhausted, bro. I've just been doing a lot and just worn out, man. Being Batman isn't easy. All the training isn't easy. You know, I don't know if I might have to give myself a little break. We'll see what's up. It's just hard to do because like I kind of got to keep going. They don't pay well, and it's working. I'm slowly but surely getting there. It's taking forever, but you know, if I keep pushing, eventually I will get there. That is true. But the check is already around $60. The next one, um, so we're not in too bad a shape. I'd like to be in a better position after doing this for what over 2 years, but this is just how they do things. Like I said, it has nothing to do with me. So, like I said, man, the only thing I talk about is reality, man, because reality is all that matters. You know what I mean? You'll get as far as the people you talk to for no reason. If you start communicating with people who are delusional, then you're going to fall off and you're going to lose and you're going to take losses. And, you're going to, those words are spells. So when people speak that stuff, right, it's going to affect everything around you. And that's the thing that I've learned. That's why I completely like stop all communication, whether it be online. If people try to get around it, I continue to make sure that there will be no communication because the truth is that most of the world is delusional. Okay. Now, I don't understand what people's point is because, well, they really don't have a point. I don't understand any of it because, again, it makes no sense. It just seems like a lot of people that I guess they want to get online and pretend. And it's like, well, that's cool for you, but that must mean that's what you do in reality. So like it's just a bunch of powerless people who, like I said, they're completely powerless. They can't do or say anything about reality happening. So they just I don't know, I guess, use their computer and phone to, vent, you know, their frustration at reality. I represent reality. I mean, in a lot of cases, you could say that Batman is reality, I am reality, but reality is a pretty massive thing. You know what I mean? So to sum it all up towards me is kind of odd. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like people gonna do what they gonna do, and that's why there's just nothing to talk about. Like I said, I talk in person to people that I want to talk to, and the only people I'm going to be talking to from this moment forward, and even this whole time, I've always been like this, is people who are paying me. Right? If you want to speak to me and I don't know you, you're going to pay me. That's number one. You have to pay me to talk to me. Number two, people who are offering something and bringing something to the table as far as resources. Other than that, basically all business, all negotiating. Other than that, there's nothing to talk about. That's kind of my thing. Is it's like I know there's Batman fans all over the world. I know there's Batman fans all over this country. I know there's Batman fans all over Texas, and I know there's Batman fans all over the valley. So if you catch wind of my channel, okay, hold on. But if you catch wind of my channel, what I need you to do for me, please, okay, wherever you are, people out there in the public, if you're in the valley, right, and you have access to resources that can help me, right? Because you have all these different establishments down here. You've got businesses, you've got companies, you've got universities and colleges, okay? You've got all sorts of resources everywhere, okay? Like I went to high school down here, so technically I'm alumni, right? There's all sorts of resources, okay? And what I need is people in the public who see my vision a little bit and see all that I'm already doing, all that I've already accomplished, which is a hell of a lot. I mean, I've accomplished more than pretty much everyone combined, everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how many people. I've accomplished more than them. And that was the whole thing. Is like it's just it's all divine. Divine law, divine timing. It just has to be this way. But my whole point is, stop being selfish. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have access to resources that can help me and back me and support me and help me in my missions, help me to move around, help me to get around, help me to take trips to whatever, to Austin or to other cities. Like, that's the part that I'll never understand is how we're in a world and all these people have access to plenty of resources. And like I said, they all have more than enough. And it's just so weird how they're just all like, act like they can't do nothing for you. I don't understand that. Because, like I said, when I had all the cash money, I was helping everybody, doing everything for everybody. And the fact is that karma is real. And what you put out, you will receive and get back. That's why it's not a surprise when I get blessed. But I'm just saying, for all these people to have so much and honestly leave so little for the rest of us, kind of like, Catwoman said in the movie, it's really sad, man. It's sad and it's downright embarrassing and pathetic, honestly, and it's inexcusable and it just shouldn't be this way. I don't know what people don't understand. It doesn't matter who you are, man. Like, if you have resources, if you have bicycles, if you have some kind of mini motorcycles, if you can build this stuff, if you can build mini motorcycles, scooters, e-bikes, all that stuff, if you have access to anything, I'm talking about, like, there may be garages, buildings like that, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, somebody could just be like, hey, you know what? You can use this for, what I'm saying, whatever you need to build. Here's all the resources and tools you need. And if you want, I'll teach you how to build this stuff. Like, somebody could teach me mechanics. Like, that's the thing. Everybody thinks you have to go to college and university. College and universities don't teach nothing. Most of what they teach is irrelevant and silly, and everybody who can think knows that. They don't teach you like how to actually do things. 9 times out of 10, most classes don't have, like, where you can really learn, because, like, I'm a visual learner, so if I see it done in front of me, I can do it 9 times out of 10, and I can learn it and pick it up, whatever quality it is. So it's like, you know, it's like if I go try to learn welding, not going out my way to go try to learn welding. It's not going to do much for me anyway. I'll just know how to weld. That doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to suddenly be building bat pods and stuff. Like, no, it's not that simple, man. You understand? Like, that's the thing. Like, the way the system is set up, it's not set up correctly for what I'm trying to do. That's why I don't really utilize that. You understand? Like, I'm not going to do this, is not a slow process. This is like we have to do everything at the same time at once. That's how I got to this point. That's how I build everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why for me, I want to take that metal shaping course that they have in Boston that they offer. And I want to figure out, when we have the money, how to buy the machine. And then you basically do your own metal shaping. And the metal shaping is so that you can build your own vehicles, and I could literally start producing my own fleets of vehicles or whatever I need, my own Batmobiles, all that. I would just have to learn the mechanics of building engines, which I would need people to teach me. But money talks and everything else walks. So if Christina and I, have all this money, I'll be able to do all these things. That's the thing. I mean, we have to talk about the future because that's how you manifest it, and you have every right to talk about your future because it's your bright future and it's what you deserve. It's what we deserve. What I mean? It's the truth. I've been through hell, man. I'm not about to, watch what I say and live in fear and live scared of nothing. Like, no, like, the way the world works is like you come out and you say how you feel and you go out and you get what you need. It's that simple. And everything is a resource. And if people aren't with it and they're trying to control you or tell you or limit you or tell you you can't do this, you can't do that, then you get the hell away from them. That's how life really works. Feel me? Because I'm not going to let nobody control me or tell me what I can and can't do. Never have. You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of these people, they're like overly manipulative and it's really weird and uncomfortable. And I don't be dealing with y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, them games don't work on me, bro. I'm a grown man. I do what I want to do. I'm not a pushover. I don't ask nobody for permission to do nothing. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. I'm a boss. You feel me? And I'm the boss, and I make my own decisions, and I make the rules in everything. And I'll always be in charge and always be the authority. And a lot of these people are upset at that. Like I said, I don't care how you feel, man. Like I said, that's some petty stuff. I've never seen people in society like this that really feel that they're on something. That's hilarious, man. Like, nah, people don't go against a man. People don't go against a real man and then expect to win. You understand? Like I said, these people, they're too jealous and envious, and they can't control their jealousy. And that's not something worth our time or worth talking about or addressing. That's some background music to the symphony of which is my future, my success, my beautiful life, everything I've accomplished, the legend that I am, the legend that builds every day and grows and evolves. Like I said, people all down here have access to all sorts of different resources, man. I just don't get it. You know, they say Elon Musk is my fan too, which I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. I'm sure he is at this point. I mean, why doesn't he offer me some resources? You know, the fact is that what I need is I need access to resources. Like that's what I'm saying. People could be like, yo, here's a garage. Here's everything you need. We'll teach you how to do this. Like if you really are taking this serious, which you obviously are, and you really want to do this, I just don't understand that why people wouldn't help. You see how your society is slow? Your society, think about what I'm saying. Your society, I'm not just dissing anyone. I'm saying reality. Your society is shaped for people to go to college, go to universities, get a meaningless piece of paper, a certificate, and a degree that the companies have already issued policies saying they won't hire y'all because you're entitled millennials. So they have all y'all so brainwashed and in modern day slavery and so mentally held captive and enslaved that you can't break out of that and get free in the mold and realize we're here, we have a set goal, and we need to do it. See what I'm saying? This is why I don't talk to many people because there's no purpose in me talking to a bunch of slow folks. There's just not because y'all are never going to get anywhere. I don't care about how much money you have or how much money you've probably wasted 60 years going to a meaningless job being in modern day slavery. I mean, I feel sorry for you. Like I couldn't do it. If that was me, I'd be hella pissed. I'm just being honest. I couldn't do what y'all do, bro. That's the thing. That's why all these people they have such judgment in their heart and they want to falsely judge and all that because right, because you're upset because of the investment you made, just like most people get upset at what they've invested into a relationship when it fails. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like people is upset at the investment that they made, which they made that willingly within their own life. You have no one to blame but yourself. If you wasted all those years going to college, that's what it was, a waste. I'm telling you, millennials are wasting tons of years, decades going to school, even going to law school, wasting tons of time for nothing. Like if I go to law school, I could do it on the computer for one. And if I go, which I could do it in person, right? Which, we'll see what happens. I want to make sure Christina is happy and I want to make sure I'm always with her. You feel me? If I did law school, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know what I mean? But I might want to do it in person. I also would like to see if she was able to come with me, and we're going to make all our decisions together. The only reason why I would maybe want to do law school in person is because I think I'll learn better. But I would like to bring her with me. That way, she's just there with me, and she can listen and learn too. But like that's my going to be my wife. So I mean, Christina is going to be with me for everything I do. So if it's an issue, then I'll just do the law school online, which she'll be helping me with anyway. You know what I mean? She's gonna help me with everything. She's who has the money. She's who's gonna have the money. So you know, unless they give me back my inheritance they stole, right? Um, like she's gonna facilitate everything either way. Hold on. And Christine is a genius. She's very smart. I mean, she said it. She said it today. She said money's not going to change me. Like the only difference is I'll get ahead on rent. Like, and I was saying, we're probably going to be doing independent real estate. I mean, we'll have enough money to go straight into real estate with independent capital. And, you know, she, I mean, she's ahead of me basically with everything. She's way ahead of me, which is good. and what I want. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to take some courses for real estate. I wouldn't have to because we would have enough money to just do independent real estate, meaning I wouldn't need anything, but I would like to do that just so that it makes it easier, you know. That way I can actually like become a broker and all that probably if that's what I have to do. Whatever tests I have to do, like if they're hard, cool. I'm pretty smart. I am a genius. I should be able to figure it out. Was always book smart, have good memory, even though I've been through a lot more physically now, of course, as being Batman and everything that's happened that created me, and created Batman. But you know, I should be able to do it, and if it takes a couple of tries, I mean, I can just keep trying, When you got money, man, I mean, you really can't lose. That's the thing. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to succeed in because I can just keep trying. If it's law school, I'll just keep trying until I pass the bar exam. I don't think they limit your attempts on any of that stuff. And if they do, they do. It's not really a big deal, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just something I want to do, If it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me. Whatever's meant for me, I feel like will come my way. Same thing with the real estate thing, but I mean, when you have money like that, I wouldn't necessarily have to have anything. It's just we got the money, we could literally just purchase homes and then do whatever we like with them. That's the thing. We can just purchase real estate. I mean, you're already doing independent real estate, and then you can just open them up as Airbnbs and have residual income pumping in. Feel me? So, like I said, that's the thing I don't understand. I talk to fools, I talk to people, and they make me sick, man, because I'm talking about like, people here and in the valley and just different people. I mean, it makes me sick, man, because I'm sitting there talking and it's like, do you not understand that I don't do small talk? Like, if I'm talking to you, the reason I'm talking to you, I'm a genius, bro. If I'm talking to you, I'm saying, like, yes, like, what do you have that can help me? I thought that was so funny how those people said, "Oh, unbelievable." What's unbelievable about a guy who's the only self-made trillionaire in the world and got targeted because he had too much money, was forced to spend it basically because all y'all were doing a bunch of corruption, everything you did is illegal. Then I proved that you were lying, so I proved that you're all corrupt and everything you do is illegal, right? In front of everyone, in front of the whole world, right? And like I said, I won against everybody standing on my own. That's why this isn't new for me to do the same thing over and over again because I stand on my own and I keep winning against everybody, right? So if I did all that and then I come back, turn around, go to a shelter and turn around and sell a 50-acre property for $100,000, these people want to be all up in my business, but you wouldn't be able to because there's too much business for you to be all up in. I've accomplished so much so quickly. It's unbelievable, right? So went and sold a 50-acre property for 100,000, lived with that money for a good while, right? Did my thing. Like I said, it was in Vegas with over like 60 grand in San Antonio. Went back with like around 35K or so, something like that. Um, I mean, like I said, back in the day, was making and spending like 10 G's a month, like it wasn't nothing. Everything paid for, had everything. Like, I mean, I've always had the best of everything. Always been good. Like back in the day, whenever I needed, if I wanted a PS4, I'd have a PS4, whatever the hell I needed. Right? These modern day people, they talk outside of reality. They be trying to talk down on things that they can't even afford and things that they want. I hear people talking down on PS4s now. Like, there's nothing wrong with old gaming systems, and that's not old, dude. If you think that's old, there's something wrong with you. Like, this generation is a joke. Just the world is like plastic now. I mean, I'm not hearing nothing y'all talking about because y'all don't make sense. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were born, I was born in 1989. If you were born when I was born, and then you watch the world change progressively and just become like slower and slower, like people are uneducated as hell now. Like everybody, and they're all delusional. Like they don't make any sense. Like just because you all don't make sense, that doesn't mean that not making sense makes sense. You see my point? It doesn't mean that not making sense is okay. Like, nah, I don't tolerate nothing. That's why you see me continue to succeed, and these slow pokes can't figure it out. My points gets proven every day without me trying. You can look at my entire life and see that I'm a symbol of success and that I know what I'm doing. You understand? And I've had everyone try to do everything to stop me. So it's like, no matter what you do, you're not going to prove that delusion works or makes sense. You're just proving how slow you are. See what I'm saying? That's why people are funny because you really just have a bunch of slow pokes. You just got slow pokes that, like I said, want to block people's blessings. They don't like seeing people be happy. That's all that is. They upset because you have talents and can do things that they can't do. That freak me out. That's a light bug. Can you get off of me? Get off of me. Huh. It's pretty cool though. He's got three lights on him. It's a bunch of light bugs right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like when bugs are carrying technology, you got to ask yourself something. They're actual bugs. They have lights in them. The bugs light up. They have green lights. This one had like three green lights on it. So, I mean, God's pretty smart because he gave bugs lights. Like, that's crazy. So it's like all this stuff was meant to happen, man. Don't doubt it for a minute. Never doubt it, and never doubt me, and never doubt God, or you will be sorely and sadly mistaken. Seriously. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's like I just don't understand it. Like I said, I don't understand why people are being so stingy. I have people that cheer for me, and I think a lot of them just don't understand there's a channel that, it's not all of why I do this. What I do is real. I just make the channel look cute. The channel doesn't show anything. Y'all don't know nothing about me and what I've accomplished. That's what's so funny. So when you have these fake people that want to get on YouTube and act like they're a part of something, you can't even voice an opinion. Okay, people like that other dude that I just put in his place, you can't even give an opinion on me. For you to sit there and say that is insane. To say, well, when did you, whatever, when did I what? Bro, I'm Batman. I make a career doing that. I make a living off of doing that. I make a living off of being a gangster and a thug. I make a living off of being the real Batman. Like, what are you not understanding? I make a living basically ruining everybody's day. I make a living, shutting down anything that's evil, shutting down illegal organizations in my sleep, like I did in Power Network, exposing all the real criminals and the real corrupt. I make a living standing up to corruption all by myself as an independent, concerned citizen that I have every right to do. And nobody can stop me or stop nothing. So, what do you mean? You know, it's like I said, it's just weird, man. I'm just tired of this fake resistance. There ain't going to be no resistance. I'm going to do what I want. Any obstacle in my way, I'm moving straight through it. I'm telling you right now, I'm not holding back for nothing. Whatever comes my way, I'm moving through because that's what I have to do now. This acting cute game, like that was cute for a little while. I don't know where it came from, but I was never acting cute, bro. Ain't nothing sweet over here, man. I'm gonna get mine. Trust me, ain't nothing gonna get in the way of my money and me making my money and my dough and me getting to where I need to be and accomplishing what I need to accomplish because it ain't just about money. I use money as a tool and a resource. I'm accomplishing everything I set out to do. So when you people call yourself trolls and you want to say things that aren't positive, you can say whatever you want and type whatever, but none of it exists. That's why would it do anything for me? I just don't understand what that is. Just like I said, people want to just run their mouth to run their mouth. That's perfectly fine, but like I said, you can't just do that because it has to make sense. You have to establish a position first. You have to have a conversation with a grown man and explain to me, what are you trying to do? What are you going about doing, bro? If there's no conclusion to what you're doing, then you're slow. That's why I just laugh at people like that. Like I said, these people wish they looked like me. It's a bunch of people who like I said, they used to go to the club and get shunned, obviously. Nobody would deal with them. They couldn't go out to the clubs. That's why they mad at me. These are just people who are mad at me because I'm beautiful. Because when I used to go to the club, I didn't get treated like that. I'm just being honest. That's the truth. You know what I mean? That's what this really about, and that's just sad, man. That people are mad at pretty, beautiful people like me because I'm good looking and always have been and always will be. Like I said, I have no insecurities. I have no flaws. I'm made perfect in God's image. God created me to look exactly how I do. Everything, every little part of me is perfect. So what's up? God made the Batman and sculpted me through all your nonsense, smart one. So, like I said, it's like me, I'm perfect. I don't have nothing to change. I don't have nothing to do. I don't have to go do anything like the anything y'all say don't make sense because again, you want to act like you can't see God's purpose for me. My purpose is different than regular human beings. You're mad at my enlightenment. You're mad at my ascension. You're mad at the anointing over my life. You're mad at my anointing. You're mad that I was chosen and hand selected and picked out of everybody. I'm the only chosen one by God. So you're mad at my purpose because, like I said, people without purpose, you're always empty inside. Those are the TJs of this world. That's why he's miserable and has to gang stalk and watch me. But when you watch me, my good sir, you know, you're super weak, first of all, and you have to watch me, and I get paid a little something from that. I make money off of you being upset and being jelly and envious. Would you like some peanut butter to go along with your jelly? You see the point? People don't get it. I'm not just walking back and forth. This can become a full scale thing all over the nation and the world. And I can guarantee you it will, because that's what I created it all for. Hold on. So, like I said, I mean, that's my only thing. I just don't understand. Like, you would just think that people would use their mind. Like, you know, there's a lot of like teachers down here. There's a lot of just, you know, it's a whole community. So that's what's weird to me. Like, it's downright offensive because, especially if you're wasting your time talking to me, what are you talking to me for if I don't know you? Much less, don't ask me nothing personal. Don't try to pry on my business ever. I don't know you. For sure, don't tell me what to do with my channel. Who are you and what do you have to offer me? If not, why are you approaching me, bro? Like, you understand? Like, people don't understand. If you're approaching me, you can literally, possibly face federal time in prison because there's too much going on. I'm not going to worry or stress about what other people do. You all continue to do it to yourself, just like people continue to create their own roadblocks and they just do it to themselves. No, like I said, there's a lot of different career fields down here. How come none of these people will do anything? I just don't understand that. Like, I'm just saying, like, just using my imagination, those are the kind of people I would think would want to help. Like, you have college professors, right? I'm sure some of them have heard about me. I'm sure I get talked about at the university somewhat. I mean, you would think that some college professor would be like, you know, I got a bright idea. I'm going to help this guy and give him the resources and tools necessary so that he can really do this. There was teachers who inspired me. You know, I wouldn't say they inspired this, but they inspired things that I researched in the past and that I used and I still use today. You know, there's fairly like-minded people in the world, and some of them are teachers, and probably some even down here. I used to get along with a lot of them. So, you know, I used to go to college down here. So it's like I just don't understand why somebody doesn't reach out. And like I said, the way you reach out is through the Cash App. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. Quit being selfish and stingy. Send a little bit of money, whoever, and you talk through it. You can leave me a message and say, like, hey, I'm going to help you out. Hey, I have resources for you to be Batman. Hey, you know, I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Let's have a conversation. Like, what? And I'm not doing no more phone number at all with nobody. If you do anything, leave me an email. It's that simple. And I'm probably just going to have to like make a new one and start from scratch with all that because I'm not doing no more games at all. I don't have time for people trying to play games with me to get in the way of my blessings and my money. I don't play like that. Feel me? So, like I said, I'm perfectly at peace and calm every day, man. I'm good in the books, and I'm gonna always be. There ain't nothing nobody can do because can't nobody tell me nothing. You're all third parties. You're on the outside. I don't know what you're talking about. I run everything here. Yep, I make the decisions. I'm a grown man. I'm not hearing nothing nobody say. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you off, and that's it. Hmm. Yep, walk away. I don't care who you are. You feel me? Like, people don't understand. I'm a grown man, bro. I run my ship and I run a tight ship. And I'm going to make sure that things get done my way and done the right way. So at the end of the day, like I said, I'm in full control and power. I have divine authority from God. You challenge that, good luck, have fun. Because you go against God, I mean, have fun with that. You know what I mean? Like I said, God is who creates karma, man. I don't know what people talking about. Ain't nothing, ain't no fear over here. Nobody's scared of nothing. I done stood up to everyone. I don't know what people, why people would run their mouth online and at a distance, pretending and fronting like you won when you lost. Like I said, I don't know who keeps doing that and who tells people that that's wise, but that's some slow stuff. You understand? We keep winning over here. We'll always win. Yeah, I stand my ground. I'm a boss and I'm a man. I don't have to walk around with my tail tucked between my legs like y'all. I don't have to walk around knowing that I'm a coward. I'm a braveheart, bro. Don't run from nothing and nobody. I'm brave. That's what you're supposed to be as a man. And y'all have something obviously against men and against bravery, which is just corny. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. All that little fake stuff. Yeah, there's no way to manipulate and control a grown man, bro. I'm right here. What's goody? That's what I thought. So, like I said, at the end of the day, that's what they do. They try to act like, oh, it's a problem how you are, bro. I'm the way my dad raised me. I'm supposed to be like this. I'm a cowboy. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't answer to nobody and nothing. I do what I want. That's why I really cherish my freedom, because when you lose your freedom, then you allow other people to put themselves in a position to pretend, because they still can't tell me what to do, but to pretend that they could ever tell me what to do. You see what I'm saying? That's why I cherish my freedom so much and I make good decisions. And that's my issue with a lot of these tarot readers, because they be saying negativity that's not even there. Like right now, we got another one just saying nonsense. Okay, ain't nothing gonna get in my way ever. Ain't no roadblocks, ain't no obstacles, ain't nothing stopping me from excelling or doing nothing. What are you talking about? Then they do the reading and it doesn't even say that. It says, "Oh, you're going to have every like see, y'all need to you need to watch your mouth and you need to phrase your readings the correct way." Like that's the thing. All y'all are too loose lipped. All y'all be running your mouth too much. You be saying a bunch of stuff that we do not tolerate whatsoever. When you all talk to me, it's like talking to a king. You got to come with complete respect. Literally, this is Sparta, dude. Seriously, you talk to me, you walking into Sparta. That's exactly like that dude from that movie 300. That's exactly how I am in reality, and people know it. You understand? No, no, no. Don't act confused. You're not confused. Of course, I'm going to be kind to nobodies, to people who aren't even a part of this. Listen, I've been Batman for 2+ years. None of this was a waste. All of this, all of my hard work has paid off. I've affected so much in a positive light, in a positive way. I've gotten all notoriety, accolades. Those are the same individuals who said I was wasting my time and I didn't get paid nothing when I worked hard. I always got my money, always, and tenfold, just like I'm about to capitalize again with God because of karma and because all of this that I'm doing is hard work. What do you think I'm working for? I'm working for my spiritual blessings. That's how you make money. So, like I said, I just don't do energies that run their mouth. That's not something I tolerate. You feel me? Like in my anger, I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of my rage. Both of those are my superpowers. I'm gonna utilize those, like Darth Vader. Like that's the thing. The real ones, like the real people who know how to do Jedi mind tricks like me and know mind control and all that, we understand. You use anger and you harness that. That's a tool. Telekinesis is possible. How do you think telekinesis is possible? You don't think that anger has to do with telekinesis? Y'all are silly, man. Y'all are straight silly. Like I said, you're looking into the wrong things. The dudes I was talking to was talking about this. The one that I ran off the block in Austin that I think was an agent you sent, but I don't know. Maybe we just didn't get along. And he was way bigger than TJ. Okay, he got ran off the block because he started some nonsense and started running his mouth when I was eating some chips talking about what he was going to do. But he was fairly intelligent and he was telling me that like just what I told you right now. He said that was the stuff he was studying. He was teaching me about the tetrahedron and meditation and all that stuff. Like real actual like thought. You know what I mean? That stuff I respect. Like he was a cool dude. It's just like I don't know what his problem was. I don't remember why he started wigging and tripping. I mean, that's my thing. I mean, that's his fault, because he's probably mad at himself because he was trying to sell CDs. Anybody in Austin trying to act like they're on some fake drama, ain't nobody on nothing, bro. We've done too much, man. We've accomplished too much. I've been, like I said, I did bar security for 6 years, man. People know about me, bro. People can pretend online. If I'm around in person, everybody's going to be very calm around me. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why people do internet games. That's not going to limit my movement. I'm coming through hard body wherever I go, homie. You feel me? It's like everybody still has to deal with me. Everybody's got to see me. I'm not hiding. I don't care who talks to who. I'm coming through. You understand? Mm-hmm. Hard body, baby. I go where I want. I do what I want. You're not limiting anything. Okay. What you're doing is you're limiting your own movements. Like I told you, that's what narcs do. You got to remember, I'm not the type of individual that hides or backs down. I do what I want to do. So that's what I'm saying. When you try to keep thinking up new games, I don't know what that is because every game has been shut down. I've won every single time. You still got to deal with the last 8 million losses before you start trying to do new stuff. Seems like you're trying to avoid the fact that you lost. You just need to learn how to hold your L. You feel me? Everybody loses Tyree Sneed, man. Everybody backs down to me. Ain't nothing new. So like I said, you got all these people, man, with all these resources, bro. They got some money. They have access to do things. I just think that's crazy. Like who would not want to do this? I just That's just weird to me, man. Like honestly, y'all be funny style, bro. Y'all be weird, man. That's like when remember Edwin from New York, like I talked about. We were supposed to be tight. We was cool. I showed him on the phone. Okay, I like he came over to a place I was at. Right. I opened my phone. I opened the app. I showed him over $250,000, like almost $300,000 in my bank account, in a brokerage account, and his entire attitude changed. He literally like was irate, like mad as hell. Not like in front of me, not like tough, but like he had to be fake. And like I think I don't even know if we finished the video game. Like right after I showed him, he just like wigged out and like I said, became a hater. Like that's what y'all don't understand. I've had falling outs with people because of my success. I've had falling outs with people because I got blessed, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And at the time I was upset with him, because I'm a human being, but as time goes on, you start to realize what's the point in being upset? It's I'm human. You're gonna have an initial reaction no matter what because you're human. But then you look at it, you're like, man, he was a nobody. Like, who cares about him? It's just crazy because like you can't have a friend in the world. You're trying to be nice to people. Like we was sitting there playing PS4, whatever. It was all brand new. I just bought it all cash. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was living off dividends at the time. I show him the bank account, dude wigs out, and yeah, and he's on the phone talking about uh, a bunch of the same lies, nonsense, talking about, oh, you sold your soul. Like my soul is never for sale. No, I just got blessed, and that's what these demons do. They try to rewrite history and role reverse. The only people who sell their soul is y'all. That's clear as day. You can hear when I talk that I have my soul. My soul is never for a price. So to say that type of stuff, I think that's why I was upset because I would, never let anyone talk to me like that. Common sense, but he did it on the phone like all of them do. See what I'm saying? So that's what weak, cowardly individuals do. They go run and hide and they start texting and talking on a phone. And that's why I tell people my number one rule is do not get on this phone talking crazy. You feel me? Because I'm a human being. So like whatever you say to me on this phone, it better be the same as in person. You're gonna have some respect. I don't care what you do, but you're not gonna mouth off to me. I don't care who it is. And that's something I stand on, and all my history says I stand on that. You feel me? So clearly that's not some game, that's not something that people play around with. Nobody gets on my phone talking crazy. Nobody plays games on my phone. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Feel me? Reality is still the same reality, bro. It never changed. Doing internet escapades and theatrics, it's a waste of your time and mine and everybody else's. But you're still in the same boat. Like I said, just like TJ who did that. Now he's looking at federal prison time, right? Because he just interfered with a federal lawsuit and now he's part of an entire gang stalking campaign, which leads into all the other people that he was around and the bars and establishments. It proves they're guilty. So now they're a part of the federal lawsuit. Y'all just told on yourself. See, they just told the truth that I was done dirty. They just told the truth that I knew they had sabotaged me intentionally there because I was winning and I had everything going for me and everybody was happy and everybody was in the right position. So like, see what I'm saying? I have every right to be mad. When you play these type of games, what do you expect? And the thing is, all these people, they're scared. That's why they do that fake laughter because they're in fear. They're scared because they know they've been found out. I already know what all y'all did. It's just like the movie and the cartoon. Feel me? When it's got that comic and it says Batman standing on business, whatever, the Penguin was even talking about it. And Batman says, I know what you've done. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, everybody's terrified now because they know Batman has figured out the whole thing. I think this has been going on for most of my life. I think that Carly Fiorina has to do with everything. 100%, I'm positive, but we'll say allegedly. And like I said, I think that people have been paid off a little bit to go against me or try to do things towards me or not let me work or whatever. And it's like, when you do those things, you're not holding me back. You're creating more opportunity for me. It's too small a world, and there's also too large of a world. There's too many opportunities. There's too much going on. See, that's the thing. These people did all this and tried to follow me all around 6th Street around jobs and keep talking to everyone. And I literally would talk to people and say, yeah, they just had me fired with some nonsense lying on my name. And the manager loved me and proved that what they said was all a lie and said, this is the best worker we got. Why would you do that? And it was because the dude was receiving too many phone calls. That's not my responsibility. That's a lawsuit too. You can say whatever you want about Texas. You can fire someone for no reason. That's fine. But that still is a lawsuit. Do you understand that, smart one? Yep. Still a lawsuit. I can sue every single one of those bars and establishments, smart one. I can file a lawsuit and they will lose. Guaranteed. So what's good now? You're not backing anyone down. You're just providing me more settlement money. That's what you don't get. Like I said, Christina and I are already looking at potentially over 30 to $50 million. And these people just will never understand. The more that you try to go against me, the more you hate, the more that God will bless me. This is what you don't understand. I told you all to stop. I told everybody, all my so called fake friends, all the people who tried to go against me, um, everything, exes, everybody. I told everyone, I said, just quit hating, bro. What is your issue? What all y'all want to hate? Okay, hate on. Make it a whole on hater thon and get you some haterade. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I want you to hate on me. Because the more you hate on me, the more God blesses me. The more millions of dollars God gonna give me, and I've already won this entire time. The fact is, I'm a perfectionist. My entire life for me has been perfect up to this point, and I've been through a lot. All those things I went through were part of the puzzle of perfection. I'm like Michelangelo, homie. The way I look, part of my perfection. This is perfection. You can say what you want. Perfection is not what you try to paint it as. This is perfection. Okay? Think about it. When a guy has been this ultra successful and then all of this leads up and then he realizes and wakes up and has a true awakening and ascension and realizes I'm the real Batman. This is what I was born to do. This is who I've been this entire time and my identity was being hid so that I could be protected. And then wakes up and figures out this is who I am and this is what I'm going to devote every ounce of my being to for the rest of eternity. And God's telling me I'm immortal. I go through this physical stuff every day. So it's a hard thing for me to understand too, you know what I mean? But that's why I know it's like I have to be immortal to some extent because it's the only way I could get through any day. You know what I mean? Because y'all don't know what I go through. I'm talking about real pain and suffering. Go through it all the time. Not every day, but well, yeah, pretty much every day. And that's going to be part of the lawsuit. You know, some days are a little bit better than others, but I generally have to deal with it no matter what. That's why people don't understand. Like, I can't just sit around and work a normal job because physically I can't handle it. I can't do it anymore. And I think that it has a lot to do with that too. And that's what the videos keep telling me is that, like, a lot of a lot of it, I know what happened, but I think a lot of it is spiritual too. And it has to do with that, like telling me what I'm supposed to do. My ancestors telling me you're meant for something totally different. Me, we know what I am. I'm God's warrior. I'm a conqueror. I wasn't meant to sit and know 9 to 5. I wasn't meant to flip you burgers. I wasn't meant to serve you your Taco Bell taco with the plastic wrap on it perfect. I just wasn't. I wasn't meant to wash dishes. I mean, I'm pretty good at it though, and I like doing it. But I'm just saying, none of those things, and never did I ever think I was meant to do any of that. That's why every time I did it, I always still invested into this career and into what I was doing and where I was going, which all of it I knew was training for something. I just didn't completely realize it was to be Batman. And I think part of me did. I think I always knew in the back of my mind. It's just like I just hadn't created this suit and just completely committed. That kind of happened just, randomly, but I finally completely figured it out and woke up, like, so, I mean, that's the thing. You can tell that my vision changed as far as waking up and ascending, you know, because all the signs were there. I knew who I was. I knew I was Batman, but I didn't understand how real me saying that was. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is, man. End of the day, it's like people can say whatever. People can pretend online. Like I said, I'm coming to 6th Street whenever I want. I'm going to Austin whenever I want. I'm not concerned about 6th Street in Austin right now. I just talk about different things at random times. That's what I'm saying. People focus on the wrong things. I got people's focus on a bunch of irrelevant things because they can't affect what matters. I got people focused on a bunch of irrelevant things because they're powerless and they know it. I have people affected on, I mean, focused on a bunch of irrelevant things because, like I said, I affect them so much without trying. You're focused on a bunch of irrelevant things thinking that it's going to matter when none of it matters. Nobody controls me or my movements or tells me what to do or when to do it. I do what I want to do. Just because somebody's jealous of me and hating on me, I'm not going to get upset with them. That's what they would want. See, I have all y'all figured out. That's why y'all do electronic means. Like I said, that's you backing down. So it's not like if we talk in person, oh, I have to, you know, I have to G check you and back you down again. No, because you already backed down because you went and committed a crime towards me. You see my point? Hiding. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what people do. I told you, people don't talk to me unless they're hiding behind a system. Everybody's shook, man. Everybody's scared, bro. Everybody's doing exactly what I want them to do, bro. I got mind control over y'all like Debo. When Debo around, I be quiet. But when Debo leave, I be talking again. Real talk. That's you. Feel me? That is genuinely you. So at the end of the day, it's like none of this is complicated. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just don't understand it, man. I mean, like I said, it's just crazy to me that you got all these people. I know they got mad resources. You know what I'm saying? And I think most people are trying to just get by every day and do what they got to do. But I just know that y'all have resources. That's what just drives me crazy. It's like, bro, y'all have things that could help me do this. I just think that people in the public should step up and help. Just like I think you should donate. I'll probably make another community post in a minute for people to donate. I need people to donate consistently, man. That's the only way we're gonna be able to do this because like I still got to try to get this phone bill paid again. I just paid it on the 21st, so it's good for another month. But I'm already thinking ahead because I got to make this money last. I got to try to get by, and I still want to try to have fun and live my life and do some stuff, and that's what I'm saying. Like not everything is free, man. If people were donating consistently all the time, I could be going out to eat all the time. I could go play some golf, do some bowling, like different things. Like that's the thing. Like it's just all about money. I have a lack right now, and it's like I understand this is a lack time period, but I understand also that it's supposed to be coming to a close. So either way, like I said, I mean, minute Christina gets here, everything will change. I know that, and then I won't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? I won't have to worry about money, and I'll finally have who I love and who loves me. I'll be completely, truly happy. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm just being patient, and God worked on my patience a lot. So I'm just trying my best to be patient. It's still hard, but I just be patient. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. I don't understand for right now. I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand. I don't understand how I'm supposed to turn around and help people when they ain't helped me. But this is how it is. DMX talked about it too in one of his songs. He literally said like, oh, now I'm supposed to be here for the same one who betrayed me, basically. And it's part of your walk with God, I guess, man. But I just still don't understand that. With as many fans as there is, with as many subs as I have right now, they're all genuine. It just it perplexes me. It perplexes me that people are watching me every day like a hawk. I mean, all of y'all, and none of them really say anything. It's just weird. And I just think it goes to show how fake the world is, personally. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thing. Like, bro, there's people who have enough money right now all around, probably all around here in the valley, that could help me like start trying to build wings that actually fly. Do you understand? Like there's people who could really like try to do real things. That's the part that just gets me. It's just weird to me. All the rest of you on YouTube, you all are relevant. You've been irrelevant since day one. Like I said, you have to sit here and listen to the star. It's not about what y'all do, which y'all buy subs, you buy views, and you fake live counts, live stream counts. I get more views than all y'all put together. And the views that they're saying I'm getting are still completely suppressed and they're lying. So I get thousands more than that. I know that all they do is lie and adjust numbers on here. They're all liars, professional liars. That's what all of them are, just like politicians. You feel me? So it's like we all know all this is fake. We all know it's all like wrestling, like Floyd Mayweather, just all fake chickens. You know what I mean? Cowards. And I mean, it is what it is. I exposed your entire system. We know that all the corporations are fake. We know they don't make their money selling products. I mean, what could any of you tell me if you actually listen to my content and just listen to what I've already proven? It's not a statement, it's not an opinion. I've proven it. So if you catch up to the content, you can't talk to me the way you're trying to talk. You have to say, Mr. Sneed, sir, right? Or Batman, sir, you're amazing. You've taught me how the world really works, and now I have to face that. That's the thing. I mean, I understand that most of the world delusional, but there's no choice when you've been educated on the truth. You understand? I mean, like I said, I mean, I guess that somewhat is true. You know, I guess like Christina was right about that kind of. I guess somewhat it is a choice. You know what I mean? But all y'all can make that choice. It's a bad choice to sit there and be delusional and go against reality. Like what? That's some sheep stuff. Bah. You know what I mean? Hold up. So I don't know, man. It is what it is, but like I said, I just think that everybody should be stepping up. Hopefully, we'll receive an actual wave of support. Because, like I said, donation wise, I've still barely got nothing. I'm truly grateful for the like one supporter that I have donating right now. Truly grateful to Christina, my wonderful girlfriend, for when she helped me save my bank account and everything that she has done. But all the other people, I mean, none of them have done anything. It's just one guy. One guy has donated me $10, like think like 3 times, maybe even four. I think it was three. But either way, shout out to him, man. Him, I'm eternally grateful to, you know. But that's what I'm saying. If we could get everybody to donate like that consistently, then I'd be able to get a flow and get out of this nonsense. Like it's that easy. All y'all got to do is send donations of 50 to $100. Send me a grand, and be like, "Yo, you can go get a bike that you want." Like I'll buy bikes from the pawn shop. Why wouldn't you? See, these people they talk down on things that are admirable. Yeah, I'll buy bikes from the pawn shop, and then I end up, getting my homeboy or figuring out some way to get them fixed up myself. That's amazing. There's people who run full scale businesses doing that. What are you talking about? Y'all talk nonsense, bro. You could go to thrift stores, bro, and get licenses to sell clothing and even status symbol clothing, and you could make a living doing that. People make living on a living on eBay doing stuff like that. Like y'all are silly, man. Like straight up, bro, y'all are silly, man. I just don't have time for your antics. And like I said, you're always stopping everything that I'm trying to do. So it's like I'm okay with it, and I gave up on all that nonsense because it's not for me. You see, you created my lane. This is my lane. This is all I focus on doing. I'm not worried about going on eBay and a bunch of extra stuff that I could do. For what? Maybe if I had access to resources, like, I could, but even that stuff, all they do is try to scam you on there. I went through that when I was up north. They don't really, none of them are real. None of them really just want to be straight up about anything. It's just the same nonsense. People go online and do illegal things and then they act like it's going to affect me. You could never affect me because everything I do, I make sure I'm doing the right thing. I know the law. I follow the law. I uphold the law. Always. I always uphold the law. So it's like, that's half of what Batman's about. So it's like people just cannot get anywhere with me, man. And they're upset because they're completely out of luck when it comes to me. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, man, I mean, I don't care how long it takes, bro. I'm gonna come on here and beg, do whatever I gotta do every day until I start getting people to understand this is something I built for the audience, the actual audience, not people who are jealous of me. The public people who are in their right mind, who can hear, to start stepping up and paying me and facilitating these expenses in an environment so that I can do this the right way. Till then, I'm just trying to get by. And I just think that it's ridiculous that as much as I've done and in 2 years, these people can't catch up and understand that. I mean, everyone in the valley should be donating and showing me actual financial support because it would have me, like I said, I could go get me a new bike immediately. You understand? It's just about helping someone. Like, why not help me get where I can run my business a little more efficiently? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part I just don't understand. Like I said, I think people should just start sending me $1,000 at a time straight up. I don't see why not. I've definitely earned it. Real talk, but I don't know. Hopefully people will figure it out and figure out the game, man. That would be nice because that's what I'm saying. I need, like I said, at least 5 to 10 G's just to get started, and that way I could, start getting the bikes. I would start small, keep doing things the way I'm doing it, but like I'd be able to get a bike and start with that, and then try to figure out how to maintain it, right? I'd get one with better tires, with a little thicker tires too, and hope they didn't have any issues. That would be the first step. If I had even a grand right now, but 5 to 10 G's, I could do all of this. And then I'd have it off the ground. I'd be making my money on here. So like I'd be able to make some decisions, some sensible decisions. It would still be difficult, you know what I mean? But with like 5 to 10 G's, I would go up to Austin and just rough it like I have a million times, bro. Man, you can say what you want, bro. I've slept on park benches. I've done all of that to get where I need to go, bro. I did that when I came back from Green Bay. I had to for a little while. Y'all don't get that, bro. I came out of actual hell, bro. I had to go over there and literally I was sleeping on a bench at night to start off. I went from that to cooking on a food truck and made like 11 bands, homie, paying for a hotel every night or every other night, like over $100. Do you understand how much of a boss I am? Went to a city with nothing and nowhere to go, and went from absolutely nothing to that, to sleeping on a park bench where there's like recluse spiders coming around and stuff, and went from that to that. That's impressive, bro. So that's why these people don't get it. I don't respect any of y'all. I don't want to hear nothing because y'all don't live real life like me. Y'all just don't. Y'all don't get out much. Y'all don't have any friends like Steez told y'all. Like y'all is silly, man. Steez said a lot of truth. That's why people, continue to reference him and have some respect for him because he still said a lot of truth at times. It kind of seems like, I mean, he lied a lot too, but he sprinkled a lot. He said a lot of truth within his lies. He stood for something. I give him credit for that. You know what I mean? But you know, like I said, if you listen to the other ones, which I'm about to, you kind of hear that they're all kind of in their own delusional stupor. They're going nowhere fast, like a hamster on a wheel, and they're not my old hamster, Speedy Claxton. He was the fastest hamster ever. You understand? But you know, it's just pathetic, man. I'm not competing with anyone. I'm just on my YouTube channel talking. I don't know any of you. We don't have a connection. We've never been through anything. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like people have to, when you approach me, you got to come correct, homie. You can't just, oh, I'm in a rush and yeah, you triggered and pressed, but like you know how to act. All y'all know how to act. All y'all know that stuff is fake. That's not how you talk. You don't act like that, bro. Miss me with that. Y'all gonna be the same cowardly individuals that you are on the street. In reality, you gonna be that on here. See what I'm saying? That's my whole point. You don't do that. Everybody knows common sense. You don't do that. If you see a man and you say, dude, this is the toughest dude I've ever seen, he's superhuman, stronger than any human being, and he's an all out gangster, you would know I have to approach this guy right. I have to talk to him correct. That's why I said when people talk to me in person, oh, it's way different. Of course, I'm going to be polite and nice. I'm polite and nice to everybody, especially if you're not coming at me in any other way or manner, which nobody's going to, because like I said, they know better, they know not to, because they just know reality. It's all love over here, brother. It's all about showing love and positivity, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a public figure. Of course I have to be calm, even if somebody wasn't calm, even if somebody acted like they could, not be respectful, right? I still have to be nice to you. It's not an issue. You know how much stuff I've heard? I have thick skin, man. Like, what? No, I still have to be nice to you. Why? Because I have everything going for me and everything to lose. Because I'm in the throne, because I'm in the position that you want to be in. And I would never let some suckers trick me off my throne. I didn't let them do it to me in that lot that I was cooking in Austin. And I for sure wouldn't let you fools do it to me on here, because it's always some people that are in dilapidated circumstances, like that one crazy psychotic chick out there that tried to set me up, right? And they laughed in her face and knew she was lying about everything. Like I said, it is what it is, and I kept on a cooking and kept on a making my money. If you notice with me, what happens is every situation I get into, I get the best of everybody and I win and I walk away the winner. I still kept making money. I made the capital that I needed, which helped me to build this business and get this started. Everything is just for a time. That's the only time it's important. That food truck and that lot was only important for the time that I was working there. After I left, it's no longer important. Now I could care less. You see my point? That's why people like TJ are mad, because TJ's seen me be a businessman in every situation, and he knows I'm an actual street gangster and a gangster in the street. So he wants to front and pretend while hiding online, and and he's not even pretending. He really just backed down and he knows what it is, but he's upset at reality. You were upset at the truth no matter what. Like I said, that was the whole reason why I told you just get off my phone, because you're trying to talk and you're talking like something's upsetting you. Well, what's upsetting you, pumpkin? Sweet pea. Why are you upset? You're a grown man. You're upset because you wish that you had my life. You wish that you could live my life. You wish that you could live a day in my shoes. You wish that you could feel what it feels like to be me and have it all. But you never will, because, well, you go against God, and, God don't like ugly. That's the truth. How much more can you really put people in their place and tell them off? You people was talking about lames on here that was demonic. Y'all still got your little demonic cults. Yes, and every one of you continues to get what you deserve right in front of my eyes, and I laugh at you with God, because God's who's doing it to you. The one dude, I heard him already talking about it. I'm going to listen to the rest of the show right now. He apparently taught, and I hope he keeps doing shows, because it keeps me updated on what goes on. He self snitches like the rest of his people, right? Like I said, there's no more being friendly or acting like I'm a part of something. Now all y'all the enemy. You want to be the enemy? No problem. Now you're the enemy. That means when I get this money too, I'm not giving you nothing. That's my whole deal. I'm going to forgive and forget, but when it comes to making discerning decisions with money, I'm not going to be willy nilly, and I'm not going to do nothing for people who didn't do nothing for me. I don't think that that's something God will want me to do. Now, I have nothing against you. I wish you well. I honestly support you. I'll try to help if I can, but I'm just saying I truly feel like the right thing to do is, and that's my whole point. People in the valley didn't do anything for me. It's cool to have fans and fake fans and whatever that and that. That's all right, but I don't care about that, because it's, to me, it's about actions speak louder than words. How much money have you donated? What have you actually done for me? And what resources have you created for me to do this? But like I said, that's the problem with the public. The public is gonna, a lot of them are sheep. They're gonna look at it like, oh, this is entertainment. This ain't entertainment. This is the real thing, homeboy. Y'all are just in the middle of it, watching and seeing it, and you're lucky to see it, but you're witnessing history being made. This Batman has done more than every agency combined. This Batman has changed things in the entire valley and in the entire world already. Seriously, with no budget. Money was never, I never had any money when I was doing this. In these 2 years, I've just barely been getting by. Money? Where? When? It's been a minute, man. It's been about 2 years. Before that, like I said, when I was cooking, yeah, I was making good money. I was all right. Yeah, not good. It was all right. It was only good because I knew how to live cheap out there. I knew what I was doing. I knew how to move around. There would still be times I would stay out all night having to walk because I had to, because they'd have ACL or something going on, and the hotel prices would get too high. Y'all think it's easy. You want the benefits of what I got and everything I own and paid cash for, and all my equity and investments, and I'm in the middle of a stock settlement lawsuit that I had over 70,000 shares of the stock because I worked and pumped all my money into that stock. If not, I would have plenty of money right now, right? So my work didn't go to waste. I'm just waiting on a stock settlement lawsuit. See my point? But y'all wouldn't want to go through that. Y'all wouldn't want to walk around Austin all night by yourself and then have to avoid getting locked up or having any issues or problems. Can you imagine that? You just stuck out there, and you got to figure out, where am I going to go? Then you tired, you want to sleep, you want to rest. But really, if you stop walking, I would walk all night. If you'd stop walking, that's when they start bothering you. You try to sleep on a bench, yeah, the homeless people do it, but they select and target who they want. They can go roll up and give you a hard time because they want to. They can do whatever they want out there. Then I'd go to the breakfast at the church, and the ones would be driving around it just stalking the whole time, like they already knew who I was, because probably y'all were. I'm sure y'all were telling them, right, and y'all were lying on my name. I'm sure. I don't care about that nonsense. And they couldn't do anything. They would have to drive past, and I would sit there and I would actually pay attention. And I'm recording everything half the time, because I want to make sure that I have everything recorded that's going on because it's all part of this federal lawsuit. You see my point? So it's like, nah, y'all could never imagine what I've been through. Austin's a big city, man. You understand? The people you're talking about, they're nobodies. They affect nothing. Austin is a big city, man. Austin is honestly a perfect setup too for Batman to really do his thing. That's what y'all don't get. Like there's a lot of like parking garages. I'm being honest with you. There's a lot of tall buildings. If I could figure out how to get the wings to actually kind of fly and glide, it would be literally perfect. Not saying that I would have to be flying or I'm not going to, go to crazy heights. I'm not, I don't like heights, but um, it's not about that. That's the thing. It's just, it looks just like the movie, you know, when they're in the parking garage with the scarecrow. I was literally just watching that scene. I'd be looking at all, I'd be studying all the movies. I study everything, even the cartoons, and it's like, you know, I don't know, man. It's very interesting, man. It's identical to the movie. But that's the thing, I need a tumbler. I need all that stuff. God has to give me the money, man. That's the thing. I can't do anything extra until God gives me the money. You know what I mean? I don't want to go up to Austin with just trying to, manually make it happen because if I do that, it's going to put me in a bad position, man. That's what people don't get. You can't do this with a little bit of money. You just can't. And that's why I think all these, they're snitches and cowards and they're all salivating and seething as usual. And it's like, what are you acting like you're seething for when there's nothing to seethe over? You lost. Bro, it's been over. It's been a wrap. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, this acting like I'm like you, I don't understand. I'm a genius. I don't make mistakes. So I think that's what they think. I think that they think that I would really be slow enough to try to do this in Austin, and manually make it happen. Like, yeah, so I'm gonna go around Austin as Batman, so that all the so-called criminals and wannabes and all y'all little, cowards can sit there and snitch on Batman. Why would I do that to myself? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to do things, and you have to be smart about what you do. I'm not gonna go out there. I already know I'm Billy Tough Guy. I'm not gonna go out there and just do things and not expect these people to snitch. You understand? Like, nah, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to be smart. That's what I'm saying. You do that in like a major city and across the nation, you got to have a huge budget because when somebody snitches, right? Like I said, you may have to go to court. You go to court, you got to have money and you'll win. You'll win the case every time. You understand? It is what it is. And the fact is that, a lot of these people they get online and they run their mouth and they all rah rah. I don't have to explain it to you. You understand? There's enough fear of Batman that like people aren't going to do nothing because they can't. That's just the truth. Best way I can explain it. But like I said, I could try it, but I'm telling you, that's what would happen. Like in Austin, in a city like Austin, that's exactly what would happen. People would start telling, right? And whatever happens, because things go down. I mean, Austin's pretty rough, man. That's what y'all don't get. Like people don't have a clue who I am. Some people do, but not everybody. And it's probably a new crowd, and there's foreigners moving in, and people from Cali and all these different states, and they're not going to know who they're dealing with. So you get a Batman in the street, there might be stuff that happens and goes down. It could happen anytime, and you don't know how many people are going to be involved, who's there, what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to put myself in that position because I'm smart, right? Even though I'm real and I've always done the real thing, right? Like I said, that's a whole nother environment. That's a bridge that we cross at a certain point when we have the money because to try to do that without the budget is not smart because all they're going to have to do is run and tell and go snitch. They're going to be a soldier boy run and tell them like TJ and like these other fools on these panels, right? And they're gonna go soldier boy run and tell them, and they're gonna say, "Yeah, Batman, blah blah blah, right?" Like all y'all canaries do. You see my point? And then all of a sudden Batman's got problems and more issues and like nah, bro. See over here, you want to know why people are mad? You want to know why they act and pretend because they know they're losing. You want to know why they're so mad? Because not only am I a gangster, but I approach everything smart and legally. So I never get myself in legal trouble. I never have any paperwork. I'm always free. I'm always good because I know what I'm doing and I'm a genius and I outsmart everyone. Even the evil bad people and even the evil whatever agencies, evil corrupt whoever, gangs, I outsmart everyone. That's what people don't get. That's the point of being Batman. So, like I told you, I'm not, if I go to Austin, it would just be to chill. I'm not doing the Batman thing in Austin full scale unless I get the funding. I have to have the money. I have to have the budget. I have to have the funding because I would have to literally, like I said, no, I make a career popping out. That dude had the audacity to say, "When did you pop out, bro? I make a career popping out." What are you talking? Except when I pop out, it's real. You don't even know the terminology you use, and what are you talking about, bro? That's exactly how Batman moves. It's you know what fair. Come on, bro. Gorilla, you ain't getting it, bro. I'm completely trained, bro. I'm highly trained, trained better than any soldier, any Navy SEAL, any Marine, any military, any Army. I'm trained better than all of them put together. That's the point. You understand? So it's like, nah, you need a budget, man, because that's the whole point. That's the way Batman moves, like a trained elite soldier that the world has never seen and isn't ready for and isn't used to. So Batman, that's exactly what he does. He just pops up at unexpected times and on different blocks and different areas, and then he's gliding and flying and climbing stuff. And y'all don't get. I'm trying to get so strong that I can be able to climb up buildings and scale buildings. That's what all this is about, bro. This training has to be this rigorous, and I have to keep pushing because I'm not anywhere near satisfied. I still want to get a whole nother point. I will say I'm making some progress because you could see I'm holding my body vertically in the air a lot easier. I'm doing the whole lift. I'm just holding it for a little bit. The holding it is irrelevant. It's just about can you lift your body. If I can lift my body and hold my body, that's all that matters. All the other stuff is just for show and to look cool, you know what I mean? But as long as I can hold it, that's what matters because those are the type of movements that I'm going to have to be doing if I end up having to climb buildings and stuff. Like I said, all this stuff has to be made. The grappling thing has to be made. It has to be made legally the right way where it looks like something that's just whatever willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Everything has to be created and built. You need money. You got to have a budget. It just is what it is, and that's the thing. Once I do get my hands on any money, bro, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. Because I got the whole blueprint in my mind. I'm a genius. I'm gonna go right to work on this stuff, and I'm gonna be at another level immediately. Immediately, the minute Christina's with me, like if Christina drove up right now, was with me in person, and she said, "Hey, I have this money," right? Do you understand what time it is? Huh? What? Do you understand how fun it's gonna be for all these people who was running their mouth? For me? Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna have a field day, bro. Do you not get it? You talking about an invincible soldier, Batman, God soldier at that, right? Who's scared of nothing basically. And I'm not even gonna say that. Like I have fear. I've studied fear. That's what it said in the video too. It's not about not having fear or being fearless. That's a lie. It's about using your fear, which is what I do, and manipulating it and understanding it. That's what y'all will never understand. But I will say that I am pretty fearless. I mean, they've told me that too, so I think it's kind of a combination of both. But you know, I think we just feel differently. But I feel everything. I'm smart and tactical about how I move and what I do and how I react and respond, though. Like a true warrior would be God's warrior. That's what I am. So, at the end of the day, like I said, nah, the minute I get this money, man, get ready, bro. Because I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna have a field day. It's gonna be so fun, bro. Real talk. But that's what I'm saying. Then I'll have the money, like anything I need. If I need additives to the suit, if something goes wrong, if I have some problem, anything that happens. Like let's say the suit got messed up because I got into something somewhere, right? If I tell Christina, hey yo, like I gotta get this part replaced or something, so I'm gonna have to run over here. Like I'm gonna be telling her everything. We're probably gonna have two GoPro cameras on me front and back, probably be mic'd up so she can hear me. And then, I'll probably be on a feed where we have cameras and a Batmobile, like, or on a Bat Pod or a motorcycle to start. Like, we're gonna have all that, bro. That's what y'all don't understand. It's all coming. That's what I'm saying. Like if the suit, something happens, whatever, I go replace a part, whatever I need to do. And then, like I said, I'm going to be talking and negotiating and discussing it with companies to where I think a company is going to end up building a suit for me. I mean, why would they not want to do it? But that's going to be the one that costs quite a bit of money, and I'm not spending no crazy price, that we don't have. I'm going to, keep everything within budget, but I'm going to talk to some companies and probably, maybe even to, I don't know, even we got to talk to the military because I got to figure out how all the technology works too. And I'm sure some of them wouldn't mind if they gave me a tour or educated me on some of the stuff and technology because the paneling they use is what I need, stuff like that, the vehicles, the terrain, like a lot of it in Batman had a military element. So I'm gonna definitely be talking to military people, whether I like it or not. You know what I mean? Because I was targeted by the military industrial complex, but I still have to discuss these things with military. I don't really lump them all into the same thing though, because they're really not. Not everybody's aware of everything. You know what I mean? So it's just like dealing with Masons. It's the same thing. Not every Mason, I'm sure, knows what's going on, and all this conspiracy stuff and what's happened. So a lot of people are just ignorant to what they're a part of, So it's like, all that has to be elements in what I'm building. Feel me? But like I said, I'm gonna have a field day, bro. And that's the thing. I ain't got no time to talk to nobody on YouTube and have conversations with peon peasants who are below me. I got to do my job, bro. I got a job to do, man. Only time I'll be going on YouTube and the only time I would be doing any talking is just basically to have fun or to figure out what's going on for the next moves that I'm making. That's about it. And if I get concerned enough about any of you people on here and think you're really like trying to be a worthy so-called villain, that's about the only time I would really pay attention and be concerned. Other than that, you're all irrelevant. I'm just saying the truth. You've been irrelevant. Y'all were never a part of my story, bro. So that's gonna make them real mad. Yeah, get triggered and pressed and lashed out because y'all stay triggered and pressed. Quit projecting and just sit down and be quiet, bro. Y'all was literally online all day, bro, doing nothing, bro. Even your own people are telling you, like, he told the dude, I heard him say it. He was like, y'all are sad, man. Now he's trying to give y'all pep talks and he does the same thing, projecting, like saying put downs, but you're a part of all that too. You just like him. You know better, you know? That's the thing, you people's goal is struggling and begging for donos every day and donations. And if he doesn't get his way, then he starts, belittling and ridiculing. And your goal in life is to get some Taco Bell, right, and be miserable, which is okay. I don't have nothing against that. I mean, sometimes that really is what life's about. Sometimes just getting some Taco. I would love some Taco Bell right now. It's hard for me to get, so I get it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like people can do their thing. I let him do his thing. That's why I don't tell him nothing. But I'm just saying, you know, everything you tell other people applies to you too. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to act like you have the right mentality, you know, you should have turned a new leaf. You know what I'm saying? Like the money that you get donated, instead of just sitting there and being selfish, like I said, you could have been said, hey, yo, I'm going to donate some to him and tell him, yo, I truly apologize. I want to change as a person. Like they could do that. Any of y'all could send a true apology donation anytime you want. Make it something sufficient though. You see what I'm saying? Action speaks louder than words. Don't send me $10 and say I'm sorry. That's some corny fake stuff. Send me like at least 50 to 100 to 1,000 and be like, you know what? I want to try to make up for all the drama I caused you and nonsense and negative things I said out my mouth. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's like I said, man. You know, like you can't hold on to grudges, man. Especially when you're the only one who feels that way. I don't have grudges with nobody. I forgave everybody. So if you see me excelling and still thriving in some manner, even if it's not completely financially right now yet, maybe you should pay attention to that, right? See my point? Life is life, man. Life has to be taken seriously, man. That's my whole point why I don't deal with people like that because I ain't never liked people like that thought everything was a joke. I've had to tell people that. I've had to defend people like that and had to explain to them like, bro, like you on my nerves. Like I'm sitting here protecting you, and you think everything is a game. Like, things are not a game, bro. I've been in. People don't understand. I put myself in real, what's way before. I put myself in some situations with people that I knew what could have happened to me and what was coming to me. and I still did it for people. So it is people are ungrateful in this world, man. I've saved people's lives on YouTube, saved their life right in front of them. People is ungrateful, bro. I don't sweat it because, like I said, it's meant to be. I'm not meant to deal with those people. Those people are not good enough for me, and I'm aware of that. I understand my value. I understand mistakes I've made, and that some of these things I think had to happen for me to learn lessons. I understand that. I understand that life is hard. I understand it's not all peachy keen. I understand it doesn't all work the way I want it to. If it worked the way I wanted it to, the only person I would have ever been with was Christina, and same for her. It's one of the things I go through mentally. Like, I mean, it's just a hard thing for me to deal with or accept. Like, I want my woman to only be with me ever at any point. That's just how I am. What I mean? I think a real man should be like that. But like I said, there ain't no real men. I'm getting emotional and stuff and almost crying. I care about Christina. I love her more than anything. Like I said, it ain't about no money. It's about true love. She knows it. She makes me happy, man. She's the only person that really makes me laugh genuinely, to be honest. And I mean, really laugh. She's funny too. She's making me laugh. She says things that are hilarious. I know I've never had anybody really make me laugh like that. That's when you can tell that somebody's really special. You can just feel it, their energy and how it affects you. I've never had anybody, literally, I've never had anyone make me feel the way that she does. That really is true. Everybody else was kind of like a robot. That's the sad truth that they have to face. Everybody else acted like a robot. Didn't know everybody else was super fake and catty and annoying. People weren't. They weren't making me laugh genuinely. They didn't put me in a good mood. She'll always put me in a good mood, and she just her energy is just soft and nice and loving. She's just amazing. You know, never would we have an issue. I don't even think we would have an argument. You know, and when we do, it's just because I'm a human being and I'm trying to get her to understand I'm a human being. Like, I'm really going through it sometimes. Like, I'm still really going through it, and I don't deserve that. I deserve to be happy. Like I said, it don't make no sense, man. You look at Jamila on here, she sits there, she asks for money, and these weird people give her money. But I'm on here asking for money every day. Don't none of these people give me a dime. See the point? Y'all bail her out and help her when she's making wrong decisions. It's just the truth. And I'm not against it. It's all good. But, I don't have nothing against Jamila. I wish her the best. I hope she does well, truly, no matter what her position is or despite her weird nuances and copying me and all that, whatever. I still wish her well and hope she's doing good. I hope everybody's cool and okay and doing good. But I'm just saying, nobody sent me money. Nobody helped me. And some of these people, they say they have a little bit of money to throw around. I mean, I don't get that, because the way it should work is the people that, like, the dude over there that they claim has money, right? Right. Number one, I just don't agree with anything he's ever done. Right. Number two, like, I just think he's weird. But number three, he was the one who was jealous of me and said he don't look like no millionaire, which I, in the spitting resemblance of the only millionaire, I'm the only self-made trillionaire ever existed, still to date in equity. So it's like, yes, you may have some money, sir, but you don't have anywhere near the equity I have, and you never will. And you could try to play catch up, but it'll never happen. And money doesn't make you happy. That's why you're still miserable, because you look in the mirror and you see, chubs, and you see that you're not in shape, and you see that you're not a man, and you have to look at that image and you're empty every day. And when people like you get money, they're really more miserable. I wish you the best. I hope that you start to do better, and I hope that you feel better as a person about yourself. But you can just tell that these people don't like themselves. But my point is, he said that, if you wanted to be righteous and really change your life and fix things and become a better person, because you're one of the most horrible people I've ever witnessed, seriously. And you know who I'm talking to on here. I mean, why wouldn't he do that? If you claim you a businessman or a gangster or smart, a gangster would make an investment into Batman, because he would say, this is a real Batman and I can utilize this guy and I can get him to, number one, to protect me, and I can have him do what he needs to do and, win against the unrighteous. But he clearly has always been unrighteous, so he would have to turn a new leaf to do that. If not, he's just another villain with whatever little money he has. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got some money and some bread don't mean give you value. That doesn't mean anything, especially to people like us who've seen money our whole lives. We've been having money, bro. We've been having things. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is a different period. This was a stagnation period that they say just ended. I think it ended like today. Real talk. So like I'm supposed to be turning a new leaf, but I'm not gonna rush or tell anyone to hurry up. I'm being patient and waiting on God's divine timing, man. God can deliver in his own time. I'm gonna be patient and keep my mouth shut. Straight up. But I'm just saying, there's people that have money, man. There's people who could help, man. You know what I mean? Because my potential. It's not potential because I live up to it. You know what I'm capable of. You know what I can do. If I just had sponsors and people that wanted to back me financially and start donating here and supporting me financially consistently, if they gave me some little bit of financial backing that was halfway normal, like sending me, like, here's $500, I'm gonna send you another in 2 weeks, stuff like that. If people would do that, and a smart man would, right? And say, whatever. You could say, I want to be involved in what you're doing. I want to have a conversation man to man about it, and I want to see how I can help you. And if they have money, they should be like, I don't even want nothing back. You know what I mean? I want to see you do this because you're taking it very seriously and it's helping people. What I do saves lives, man. That's the truth at the end of the day. So I mean, I'm just saying, I'm the mirror. I'm showing the world how hypocritical they all are. I'm showing the world that you all claim to be fans, but you're fake. It's all fake and fake love and catty. You still look at me like I'm a caricature, a character. You think this is entertainment. You're not looking at me and treating me as a human being. And that's my issue with the world. You understand? My issues with the world are irrelevant because the world is irrelevant to me. I don't care what the world does and what they think. I don't care about a bunch of sheep. You feel me? Oh, I care about you. I just don't care what you think or what you want to say about me or to me. I don't care about that stuff, bro. I outgrew that stuff a long time ago. And see, that's the reason why I don't do panels and I'm not going to have people come over here and start rambling when I drop a link. I don't do that. I talk calmly because you're going to give me all the time in the world. You're not going to rush me. You're going to let me respond as a grown man. You speak, give me ample time to respond so I can tell you where I'm coming from. A lot of these people, man, they clearly don't want to hear reality, man. And that's just super immature that they're like, la la la, I don't want to hear it, putting their fingers in their ears so they cannot hear, like, you know what I'm saying, like super immature, like I don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear reality. It's too bad. You're gonna hear reality nonstop. Common sense. It's not because of you. It's just that's what I spit and who I am and what we're supposed to do here. It's God's will is reality. What? Like I said, man, people have to make sense when they talk. If you don't have nothing to say, be quiet. Feel me? Like if you scared, admit you scared. If you have a point, say your point. But you have to be respectful. That's not an option with me. Everybody knows that. So like I said, now there's no more games because I'm waking up to the fact that apparently everybody wants to play games on the internet. Like, okay, that shows me that all y'all will always fail, and that's why you always have because you don't take yourself seriously. That's all that shows. It's no, if you act silly on the internet like a clown, then that's how you live your life. That's a fact. This is the same thing. This is reality. It's the same thing as reality. If you all go online and you act a fool, that's how you do everything else, and that's why y'all fail. You answered your own question. Y'all are the problem. You've always been the problem. You're your own problem. You're your own worst enemy and worst nightmare. Well, I'm the worst nightmare. You're your own worst enemy. But like I said, man, I just want some normal, real money, man. Like so I can do what I want to do, bro. Like you know, for me, I don't know. I just want to do things the right way. That's the thing. Like me, I'm an adventurer, man. Like I like going on adventures. Like I said, I wouldn't care. I don't mind going to different cities I ain't from and staying in a shelter and stuff. But it's like at this point, as crazy as the world is, and with everything going on, why would I do that to myself? I don't need to. I don't have to. Why would I do that? Unless I really have to, there's no need to do that. because it's going to put me in a bad position, and then anything can happen. You know what I mean? God got me. I ain't worried, but it's like even in Minneapolis, bro, it was rough, bro. I had to hold my own in there. It wasn't rough for me because I'm pretty good at holding my own. Like, that's the thing. Like, one of the dudes, he liked me. He was helping me. I had left. I came back. He still went out of his way to help me, which was cool of him because I was trying to get like a certain bunk, and I told him that I had to go handle something and come back, and I did. So like, people like me, man. Real people like me, man. I kind of miss him too. He was a good dude. And then after I left, I found out later they fired him, and I'm like, yeah, sounds about right, because there was a group that was the same thing, hating. You get what I'm saying? That's another thing too that's going to be investigated, buddy. In case you didn't know, yeah, those shelters that I know y'all called. That's why they targeted me while I was eating breakfast. Yep, you told on yourself. Every move that the Red Triangles have made, they've told on themselves. Y'all are not smart or wise at all, bro. Y'all funny as hell, man. Like straight up, bro. And even if I don't have documentation of it, like if the emails delete themselves or something because they're in spam, who cares? I mean, fact is, y'all are getting your justice and karma no matter what through God. And like court is irrelevant. These people are dealing with way worse karma than court or jail time or prison. Seriously, they're already suffering. They're already going through tons of karma. Like I said, then people created their own hell. Let them deal with it. That's their justice and karma. I'm content with that. I'm satisfied, more than satisfied. Feel me? Nah, court is just and jail time and prison time for y'all. I mean, for some of you, it's still necessary, and like they said for this cycle, but it's the extra whipped cream on the sundae because I know God is not going to let nobody get away with nothing, especially towards me. Atrocities towards me, nah, that's going to get you karma from God immediately, instant karma, nonstop for every generation. Real talk, it won't be just you either. God will literally do it to every single generation that comes from you. Hmm. Yeah, your entire lineage will be cursed. Yeah, God will be on your entire lineage. I told these people this. Y'all don't listen. My first words I gave, the exact words I told people what it was. I said, go against me. And I told them what reality is. And they didn't listen. Now you're living it. Have fun. Feel me? Like, it is what it is. Enjoy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say I do, but I mean, I think a lot of the karma is deserved. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not so much an enjoying feeling, it's just a like, there you go. Like there is a God. I know there's a God, but it's like there's God delivering. Like there has to be some righteousness and fairness in this world, man. Like there you go. They finally got what the hell they deserved forever. Good bad people deserve what they get, man. Everybody feels like that. Steve's felt like that. He said that a million times. Steve's expressed a million times, how he really felt, and he said the truth. I'm not going to say it word for word because it's pretty ugly, but it's the truth. He said what it is. Steve couldn't stand none of y'all. Steve said exactly what y'all deserve, and God is delivering what they all deserve every day. That's why I just, you know, watch and observe and whatever. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. So like I said, I'm gonna keep doing me, man. Hopefully, some people will start donating and showing some support. It's all financial, man. We just need finances, and I could get this off the ground, But I really just can't wait for Christina to be with me, and can't wait to have enough money and a decent amount. We'll have tons, obviously, but I just can't wait to have enough to go to like Fuddruckers. I want to go to like Austin and go to Fuddruckers and stuff like that. That's my point. Like when I have a budget and I do the Batman thing in Austin where we're there, we'll be building businesses. Like I'll have to set a time out to do the Batman stuff, and when I do it, it'll be 100% legit, and she'll see everything. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I mean, probably gonna try to talk to all the people there and somewhat try to let them know what I'm doing. Like if I can, like give them the channel at least something, so at least they're somewhat aware that I'm there. Like that's another thing that I may actually try to do. I mean, I'm not going to do it all the time, but um, to an extent, yeah. But there shouldn't be too much for me to worry about, man. Like I said, the suits that we should be building when she's with me and we have the budget to do it should be very protective. What y'all don't understand, I even got to try to figure out, see if there's a way to protect my eyes. I got to see if there's like in the suit. We're gonna build a new mask for sure, and I was trying to see if maybe I can get some kind of lenses that I can, like the lenses I can toggle between them, and then like no lens and turn on the lens, but the lens would probably be bulletproof. That's what y'all don't get. I'm talking about building real bat suits. We're talking about like lenses over my eyes that are bulletproof too, like all stuff like that. Like your eyes have to be protected too. I mean, they don't have to because I'm swift and I'm quick and I know what I'm doing, but they kind of need to because you just never know. And especially if stuff's moving around, you don't know what might bounce off, ricochet, repel off something. You don't know what can happen. So, like, y'all don't get, this is the real thing. There ain't no reservations about it. Like, I'm not going to have too much to worry about because I know the suit I'm going to be in is going to be like completely bulletproof. We have to proof this suit for like anything. That's what y'all don't understand. Like this is not some joke. This is like making, taking a guy that God told me I'm immortal and the immortal Batman and putting him in an invincible, indestructible suit on top of being immortal. Okay, that the suit has to have like all these things built into it. I got to have the belt. I got to have the whole deal, the whole deal. You understand? So it's like it's gonna be crazy, honestly. You know what I mean? And the belt for Batman, it has little capsules of different components and stuff, and I'm gonna have to study and figure out what those might be if I do it like that. You understand? Like you gotta have all that, bro. Objectality and deception, right? What is he saying? He's like something something for the uninitiated, but we're initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Right? Objectality and deception. Great tools for the uninitiated, but we're initiated, aren't we, Bruce? You got to have all that stuff. You understand? So it's like, it's going to be a whole thing, bro. It's going to be to where it doesn't matter. It's going to be just like the cartoons and the movies. I'm not, I'm not necessarily letting everybody know everything I'm doing. I'm not trying to be everybody's friend. I'm going to be running around and moving. Okay, like some stuff I'm probably going to have to run from, not in a scary way but in a smart way, self-preservation. You understand? Like it's just like the cartoon and the movie, but we got to do what we got to do. It's about the objective and what Batman got to do, and that's it. All right, talk to y'all in a minute, man.